Hey guys! So it's finally time for level 4 of my 4D body position program. And this is a masterclass in understanding correct body position, because there's actually 4 different levels of which you can understand the body position. And most riders, even some advanced riders, or should I say people that have maybe been riding for 5 or 10 years, they are still stuck on level 1, where you think that the body position is static and there's just one body position you're using the whole time. If you watch carefully, the professionals, they are changing the body position and adjusting themselves on the bike all the time, and you will see these variations more the closer you look, okay? And level 3 and 4, by the way, they are everything that you cannot see on pictures and videos, such as pressure points, where there's looseness and tightness in the body, and cues for correct posture, or tips for correct posture, okay? And these are very subtle things that you cannot maybe pick up on video unless you know what you're looking for. So to just go through all these 4 levels, what characterizes them, let's do that quickly. So you have an overview of the 4 different programs, okay? So level 1 is the generally correct standing position and sitting position, also known as the attack position, okay? So it looks like this, okay? And then level 2 is all the variations of the standing position and the sitting position. And there are a lot, okay? And then level 3 is the generally correct way of having pressure points on the bike, where to apply pressure and where you have looseness and tightness, or where you should have looseness and tightness in the joints when you're riding. And then level 4 is the variations of looseness and tightness and the variations of pressure points and different posture cues, okay? So if you want to see these programs, make sure that you're subscribed first of all. And if you already think it's interesting, maybe consider giving the video a like. And in case you're new to the channel, I'll just quickly introduce myself. I'm the head instructor of 2-time TripAdvisor award-winning motocross holiday training camp, Motocross Phuket in Thailand. Also, I've studied nanoscience, which gives me the ability to explain the physics of riding technique and actually the physics of the bike and the rider acting together, and explaining things such as gyro effects. And I've also won races on my 252 stroke actually this year, which was really cool. Check my racing vlogs for that. So with that out of the way, let's get started. So what I'll do is I'll get on the bike and I'll explain you and show you 3 or 4 variations that are most common to use in the standing position and the sitting position. Okay, of course I cannot go through all variations, but I'll talk about the most common ones so you can practice this and get better at it, okay? So the first variation is for hard braking. When you're coming on a long straight into a turn that has big braking bumps, and it can be violent, okay? So to maintain your control, you should drop your hips towards the rear and start applying the brake and the front brake. And then tighten up your grips on the handlebars so you grip tighter. So when you're braking, you should both grip harder with your hands and your legs. So basically you're gripping the bike harder. So by gripping harder with your hands, you make sure that you not lose the grip on the handlebars so they fly out of your hand when it's too bumpy. And by gripping harder with your legs, squeezing the bike, you also transfer some of the work to your legs instead of trying to only hold the bike with your hands, right? So you make the legs do most of the hard work, but also make sure that you're not gripping too loosely, which is generally a good technique, right? To grip loosely with your hands, okay? So that was one variation. Another little tip is to try to stand on the rear edge of the foot peg when you have your hips back here. It makes it feel like more of the bumps are coming through the foot pegs instead of through the arms, if you have your hips further back like that. The next variation of looseness and tightness is for jumping sections or rhythm sections. That means sections where you have many jumps after each other. It could also be jumping big bumps on sand tracks where you're jumping and landing and jumping and landing, okay? Those jumping sections in the transitions, you can loosen up your grip with your knees so you can allow the bike to move freely in those transitions, because you have to imagine the bike is pivoting around the foot pegs, and when you have those transitions, it's pivoting like this. And if your knees are too tight, it's going to throw your body off balance every time the bike pivots. Okay, so you need to free up your leg connection, so to speak, in those transitions. You can also see this in slow motion with the pro riders in Supercross in the rhythm sections. They are not like squeezing the bike really hard in those sections. Okay, so that was a good little tip for a variation of when to loosen up your grip with the legs, okay? To watch the full version of my advanced riding videos and support the development of this channel, click the join button below and become a member. And thereby you will get access to exclusive videos where I go through the most advanced skill levels and also explaining things from a physics standpoint, because I have a background in science and thereby studying physics, so I'm able to explain actual riding technique and the mechanics of riding, also bike setup, in a way that you don't see on many other channels. Also, I share my own step-by-step methods on how I track my own progress and riding technique development. So if you're interested in that, consider becoming a member and clicking the join button. And if you like tropical island holidays, visit fitcamp5.com for my 2-time TripAdvisor award-winning training camp, where we train fitness and action sports together while learning to live a healthy lifestyle and, maybe most importantly, have fun at the same time. And if you're really serious about improving yourself, you should definitely check out my full online courses, where I share step-by-step programs on how I developed my own routines over the last 12 years as a CEO, working in 4 different countries, while being a successful competitive athlete with more than 20 years of experience in fitness and nutrition. Check the link in the description for that. And in any case, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, be awesome, believe in yourself, and see you on the next one.